Little Eddie Goes to Carnegie Hall by Sonia and Sean Hollins. Illustrated by Dan Monroe. For Mrs. Billy Netterwald, who has dedicated her life to planting seeds of music in the hearts of children. For Edward Callahan, whose love for music has blossomed into fruit for the world to enjoy.
High five, Mr. C.
Low five, little Eddie. Piano lessons always began with a special greeting, but what happened after that was always something new. They sat at the piano bench, and Mr. C began to play chords and arpeggios. What will our opening duet be today?
Old MacDonald had a farm,
Little Eddie shouted. Okay, hit it, Mr. C said as he gave a few opening notes. As Mr. C played the melody, little Eddie joined in on cue with the sounds of pigs oinking, ducks quacking, and cows mooing. When old MacDonald had all the animals little Eddie could think of, the two laughed as they ended with a dramatic E-I-E-I-O. After practicing scales, Mr. C talked about improvisation. He said he learned to improvise from his first piano teacher, Mrs. Billy. When he was 5 years old, Mr. C began to play a tune that was so beautiful, little Eddie could hardly believe it came from his piano. I call it the piano lesson blues, Mr. C said, when he finished with gentle, soft notes called pianissimo. Now your turn. Little Eddie took a deep breath. Then his little fingers began to pound and slide up and down the piano with fortissimo and excitement. He bounced to his wild rhythm and almost fell off the bench when he hit the very last key on the piano. Bravo! Mr. C clapped.
Aw, man, that was bad.
Little Eddie pouted.
I try, but nothing sounds right. I will never be able to play like you.
Improvising isn't about sounding right or like anyone else. Improvising is about expression. This was a good start. We will work on it more next week. Mr. C taught little Eddie about some African American composers like pianist Florence Price, pianist George Walker, cornetist Louis Armstrong, pianist William Grant Still, pianist and singer Nina Simone, pianist and big band director Duke Ellington. After their lesson, he told little Eddie about his audition at Carnegie Hall.
What's an audition? And who's Carnegie Hall?
Mr. C laughed. It's Carnegie Hall. It's a place where some of the best piano players in the world perform. All of the musicians we learned about today played there.
Oh, can I come? I want to see. How do you say it? Carnegie Hall?
Mr. C laughed. That's close enough. Little Eddie's mom agreed it would be fun. A fun field trip, and made him promise to be on his best behavior.
I'm going to Carnegie Hall,
little Eddie sang with excitement as he ran to get his jacket. The two strolled along New York's West 125th Street and past the Apollo Theater. Mr. C talked about how many singers and dancers became famous after performing there. Little Eddie laughed when he told him how a man named the Sandman would dance performers off stage if the audience booed. The streets of Harlem were filled with excitement. Little Eddie smiled at a beautiful performer who clapped castanets and rattled maracas as she twirled in her colorful costume. He danced to the music of the man with a guitar who sang of being a rhinestone cowboy. A homeless man clanked his tip can singing, spare change, anyone, spare change." Mr. C bought treats and gyros from a food truck that played music from a faraway land called Greece. The subway station was filled with the sound of trains that clicked along the tracks. Finally, they arrived at Carnegie Hall. Mr. C hung his coat and scarf on the hooks backstage and reviewed the sheet music for his audition. Little Eddie tiptoed toward the curtain and gazed out onto the huge stage. As Mr. C took the stage, Little Eddie imagined himself playing to an audience. He knew it would take hard work and practice. But at that moment, Little Eddie decided that one day he too would play classical music for the world. "I want to play music on a stage and bow, and one day I can even play at Carnegie Hall," he whispered. He giggled that he had finally said it correctly. He practiced every day and grew up to play and bow to audiences. Little Eddie learned to master great classical works and improvised beautiful music made from his heart and the feelings of the world around him. When he performed in town, Mr. C was always in the audience along with Mrs. Billy. Mr. C always gave Eddie an air high five, and at the end of each performance would shout, "Bravo!" Eddie went on to perform in concert halls around the globe and still practices to one day perform at Carnegie Hall.